Hi, a very big hello to you. Welcome to a great evening on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's a lot to unpack for you, a lot to discuss here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, if you are new to the Fiifi-Manfred community, welcome to the community. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear from you in the comment section. We want to make sure that you're a big part of our community. So it's imperative that you subscribe to the channel and you turn on notification because of course we want to hear from you. Of course, if you are not new about the community, thank you very much for being here. The love is still on and we love to consistently hear from you. And so this is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let us get straight into it. And there was something great that went on in this game that Chelsea played against Brentford today. We'll delve straight into the post-match tactical analysis of everything Chelsea did and why it's imperative that Chelsea, the best manager for Chelsea is Mauricio Pochettino in there. So we'll talk about it and we'll get into the nitty-gritties of the game. We'll discuss other things later on in there. So in the last few days, there have been a lot of commentary. Commentary about Chelsea's position in the league and how they are faring. And I've always maintained that I don't fault any fan who doesn't have the conversation in the context of everything that Chelsea has been through, in the context of the team Chelsea, the successes they are making, player development and whatnot, and then of course finally in the context of the injuries and whatnot. I don't fault anybody because that's not what fans do. A fan's job is not to analyze a game in context. If you want anybody to analyze the game in context, then you have to be an analyst. You want to be more than just a fan to analyze the game in context, and that's why my job is equally important. And I consistently will come and sit here and try and put some nuance into all the conversation that goes on in Chelsea Football Club and everything that goes on with it. So that's exactly why I'm here, and we're about to talk about everything that's going on. So stick and stay with us. Let us have a brilliant conversation of Chelsea and everything that's going on with them today. So in the last few days, Chelsea sent some people to go to Sporting Lisbon to go and see Victor Gyökeres. They went on to see Ruben Amorim, of course, is the manager of Sporting Lisbon. There has been looking at certain managers as well, like Roberto Di Zerbi, Mauricio Pochettino, and whatnot. If you watch the Lisbon game that went on against Benfica, I realized that they went to play in the back three, an excellent back three at the time. Three centre backs in there with two midfielders that will help in progressing on the ball. And I think that some of the most quality true centre backs in any team in Europe are in that Sporting Lisbon team. Of course, Ousmane Diamonde, who a lot of the teams in England are looking at, and of course, that of Chelsea as well are looking at. And then there's also Igor Inacio in that team in there. And of course, I've said that if you want a new manager, then you have to get a manager that fits the squad profile of the team. I think that if you are comparing just the two managers, then Roberto Di Zerbi fits more of the Chelsea team than Ruben Amorim, because of course he plays more of a juego de position. The positional play more than Ruben Amorim. Amorim is more Mourinho-like, but more on the ball, more vertical, more direct play, more bypassing of the central areas of the pitch, and then of course making sure that he creates a lot of overloads in wide areas, and then of course with fullbacks that bump up and down the field of play. So that's it with Ruben Amorim. For Roberto Di Zerbi, it's about positional play and then always finding a free man in build up in there. And if you are talking about technical quality, one of the things about positional play is you want technical quality. I'm also looking at something else apart from just the tactics, which is somebody who has a cultural and then a charismatic approach to games. And it is something I think that the last Chelsea manager, which was Graham Potter, did not have. Pochettino has it, but not really at the highest level. I see it in Roberto Di Zerbi. He's a no-nonsense man from the looks, and of course for Ruben Amorim as well. So some of the things will go on, but I still do not think that I've seen enough to say that Pochettino has to out or to be poached out. Definitely, I'm not. I think that Pochettino hasn't done so many things wrong. For the team that he picked up, the injuries that he has had, I've seen some progress, and that's the thing. For a fan, there is nothing like nuances, and that's where my job comes in. So, in the better part of the last 1 week, Chelsea has played almost 228 minutes of football. So Chelsea played 120 minutes against Liverpool. They played about 90 minutes against Leeds United. Let's say 95 minutes against Leeds United. That in itself is about 215 thereabouts. And they played another 90 minutes today. So that's 180 plus 120 in there. And that's almost 300 minutes that Chelsea has played. So that's a lot of time for any player to consistently be on the field when Chelsea don't play. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that why is that Mauricio Pochettino is saying that his midfielders are burnt out and he can't have Cesar Casadei in the team. He's a player that I was expecting to get some part to play in this game. He didn't get it. But you definitely cannot compare a team like Liverpool that has built a culture for a very long time, for a while now, under the same manager, to Chelsea, who just came in and they are trying to knit things together. It's always going to be difficult to introduce a new phase, a new player into the team, especially in a very, very difficult part of the game, like the midfield. When you have realized that Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo have found that telepathy, they found that rhythm together, and now they know exactly how they want to play. You bring in a new player, it doesn't really help. So that contest is neither here nor there. Now going into this game, Chelsea had not won against Brentford since 2022, and it was a difficult game, a London derby away. Mind you, Brentford has had some very good results against a lot of teams, top sides in English Premier League, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. All of them have suffered when they've gone to Brentford. So everybody knew that was going to be a difficult game for Chelsea. And that's why for me, I was excited about the approach that Mauricio Pochettino went into the game with. By going for Nathaniel Chalobah, Axel Disasi, and Labaiko, it was a flat three at the back. And I was excited because of two reasons. Because one, Nathaniel Chalobah in midweek was excellent against Leeds United in bringing some calmness and composure at the back for the team. And if you go back and you watch Chelsea have changed backlines 20 out of 36 games that they played this season. It means there's no consistency. We are going to play against a set piece specialist in Brentford, who also playing the back three. Have tall, lanky, big, bulky center forwards in Wisa, Brian Mbuemo, who didn't play, of course, Ivan Toney. Then obviously you need an extra center back to deal with the extra ball in the box aerially. My only problem is that this is a back three where Axel Disasi fails to read games better. I don't think that Axel is elite. Anybody that watches me knows my reservations with Axel Disasi. He's not elite. If Wesley Fofana is in the team, Axel Disasi doesn't get a chance to play in my team, even I'm the coach of that team. Chalobah brought that calmness. Levi Cole is elite. He's a young talent, excellent player, but my bigger problem with Levi Cole is that once he's good on the ball, in aerial duels, he fails to do two things: either to watch the ball, keep his eye on the ball, or do enough to be agile enough to be able to mark both his player and then the ball. He feels at that. And for me, that's an important part of the game where he's ailing at. Now, I think that this gave us that cover. Of course, I was excited that in goalkeeping, Georgi Petrovic has now been Chelsea's number one. He has brought some calmness to the team, something that under Robert Sanchez, the team didn't have. And it's something I knew was going to happen with time, and it has, of course. In the middle of the park, Chelsea obviously went in with Moise Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, two sitting DMs to help in build-up. Of course, Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo's relationship has been better. They've been going together. They've been excellent together. And I think this was one of the games where Moise Caicedo was solid, was brilliant. Benjamin Chilwell, Malo Gusto in there. And then, of course, inside number 10 in Conor Gallagher and then Cole Palmer to form like a box midfield in the middle of the park to prevent Brentford from getting a lot of the counter-attacks when they push up to come and counter-press in here and then push a lot of numbers here. That's exactly what Chelsea wanted to do. When Frank Onyeka and the likes pick up the ball and step into the midfield, Chelsea want to make sure they have inside number 10 to occupy the half space in Cole Palmer and then Conor Gallagher. What happened was that in the first half, they seemed to be more aggressive with the counter press. Chelsea seemed to be very good. Moise Caicedo was dropping to win balls off Ivan Toney and the likes. But my bigger problem was that because we're playing with a narrow three, at some point in time, Benjamin Chilwell failed to move in here to keep the way. I don't know if it was an instruction, but I was too defensive, especially in the second half when Chelsea got up by a goal. Now that invited a lot of pressure. That invited a lot of pressure on Chelsea, and they were forced to defend more. Now, when you're defending more against a backside like that, you're defending more against a back three like that, you're defending more against a team that's a lot of aggressive ball winners up top and good crosses in Sergio Aguero and the likes, then you are most likely going to be under pressure. And that's absolutely happened. Now you realize a lot of the times what Enzo Fernandez did to try and help was he moved out to the left wing to help keep the width and then broaden the field for us because our two tens, our two inside players here are not natural wingers. So ideally, you'd have expected Sterling and then Noni Madueke to keep the width. But we wanted extra work in the middle of the park in terms of off the ball job to counter press and press here and win the ball. So that's exactly what he went in for. Conor Gallagher and Cole Palmer inside. So that, of course, Nicolas Jackson, who is excellent at leading the press, winning the ball back and hold up. So that was the big deal. The bigger deal for Chelsea was how to get forward. Of course, Malo Gusto did bump up left, right, center, setting up that goal for Nicolas Jackson, which was a very good one in there. But the bigger problem, however, was on the left-hand side where Benjamin Chilwell was, where he had to go, but never really went. Stuck in here, seemed to be scared, and that forced Enzo Fernandez to come here and to come and help with the wing. Of course, Enzo is not the best guy you want on the wing here. If it's closer, 1v1, he's not the best dribbler. He's just a ball carrier through central areas and then join trouble. You can't really create like that from wide areas. And of course, one of the things I liked about this game, yes, it was a drawn game, it wasn't a win game. But Chelsea managed to deal with a set piece threat of Brentford. You could tell that they prepared well. I mean, the second half, I'm thinking there was some accumulated fatigue also that forced the team to draw back and then allow Brentford to go into the game. I have issues with Mauricio Pochettino's in-game management. I think it's a part of his managerial chess box where I personally think that he needs to develop, especially going into next season. But again, this game puts into perspective what Chelsea has to do. I think that the three-back shape has to be maintained going forward because Chalobah brings that stability, Levi Cole and then Axel Disasi. Now the problem is how to get more creativity either in central areas or to stretch the width. I'm suggesting that as the games go forward, either of Cole Palmer and Conor Gallagher, one of them has to be substituted if Chelsea do get a goal and want to find a kill quickly. So that Enzo and then Moyes will sit deep, or if you can take off Enzo Fernandez, have Conor Gallagher and then Moyes sit deeper and then have a winger here. So any of the wingers, Mihailo Modric, Sterling, Noni Madueke, whoever can play in it, has to play in it. So that can stretch. If that stretch means that there's a lot of space more for Cole Palmer to maraud in between the lines, receiving on the half time, and then playing Nicolas Jackson, which is very, very important for the team. And I think that while the three-back shape is good, it's going to help the team in certain games that are going to be difficult, away games, to prevent the team from conceding more goals, which is important. Of course, today, conceded 2, which is not good, supposed to be uncharacteristic of a three-back system, but the team still did. Again, you would understand that it is good. Now, this is my editorial, and I wrote it together. I wrote it down just so I don't forget. So, if you are here, I want you to listen to this. Now, just before I say that, Chelsea, in terms of first half performances, should have had 39 points and should have been 8, just about 6 points off the top spot. Whilst in second half performances, Chelsea has 17 minus 5 goals, 24 points. It tells you that second half the boys either switch off, and I think it's a thing. It's a thing with teams with younger players. It's a thing with teams like this. For second half, they tend to switch off. In-game management is bad, like I said earlier on, and this is why Chelsea needs to make something changes. And especially, I also do think that because of this, it's the reason why the next transfer window cannot be wrong. Chelsea needs to get it right, especially for another centre back which is experienced. I don't need an experienced centre back. I mean, if you're getting me someone like Ousmane Diamonde has a very high ceiling, I don't mind. I can keep him here and then make the Sassi a squad player. Diamonde, Levi Cole at the back, he will do the aerial threats. He's more calm on the ball. Then, of course, there is a need for another midfielder. Someone that will eat up more space for Caicedo and Enzo to be attacking number 8, so that he sits and eats up the space. Like Amadou Onana, anybody in here can eat up a lot of space. And of course, because Chelsea's midfield is very short, there's a need for also height in this area to win duels in here. So then, of course, a striker, a killer for that matter, Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, whoever the striker is, has to be brought in because Chelsea needs that going forward. Now, so this is what I wrote, and I wanted to read to you. So I put it in my notes. So I'm not a Poch defender, but it's not like I blame him for everything. I don't. What I do is that I always try to contextualize, like I'm telling you today, because that's my job, and that's exactly what I know how to do. Brentford game was supposed to be a tough one. Everybody knew this before we went inside. I don't see it on the table on the current form. See the strengths and weaknesses, in my opinion. Never look at the table or current form. I look at strengths and weaknesses and against opposition and I make decisions. Brentford is one of the toughest teams and the best set piece teams in the league. Tall physical players. Chelsea do not have that. Coho have his issues in terms of defending and all of that. Chelsea shape was good and is good, has been good in recent games. Chelsea wanted to play a shape for a while. I hope it just wasn't to counter attack Brentford's shape, in my opinion, because I think that was a very good shape. I'll blame Poch for the issue of not playing more Cesar Casadero, because I think that Casadero could have played in such a game. 18% of the games, Chelsea have been flat in the first half, and that's on Poch. But today I thought the fatigue was the main issue. And Thomas Frank would have definitely asked his players to play more long balls, to be very honest. I don't think Poch could have done anything much about it. Had Disasi just kicked the ball away for the corner, it would have probably won it. Today's game was lost an individual error in a moment of brilliance from West. I really hope that we play in the shape for the rest of the season. We wanted us to have 3 tall centre backs against every team, because this setup doesn't hurt our attack in any way. It just makes us better. And of course, it will depend also on Benjamin and Chelsea. So that's the post-match analysis of Chelsea's game against Brentford. There's an analysis early tomorrow morning, as it's a Sunday. Everybody gets an analysis of all the games that went on, posted early in the morning at 10 a.m. So you can say, my name is Fiifi-Manfred. Thank you for joining. Bye.